Hey guys, this is Dave with Moniology. Hope everyone is having a great day. Today is September 19th, 2017, and this is a energy sector review along with some top picks in the sector. All the charts analyzed here are done on a weekly basis to provide longer-term perspective and to remove some of the noise in the markets. So let's have a look at what we've got in store. So starting with the crude oil futures chart, one thing is fairly clear that we're in a new uptrend in the sector. This is something we called when we were down here in the bunker around 42, 43, but we were starting to create divergence and we broke out of this RSI momentum downtrend. And for that for us, this is a more important indicator than actual price itself. So that's precisely why we said that we've likely hit a bottom here. No surprise that we had a consolidation period, and now that we broke out of that downtrend, the next logical price target is 55. What it does thereafter remains to be seen, but by the looks of it, we believe that 55 will be broken to the upside, and ultimately we're going to have a retest of likely that 60 to 63 area at some point this year. Why do we say that? Well, when you look at some of the underlying stocks in the sector, they look to be very bullish, and so that gives us additional confidence that this oil basing pattern, which really, if you look on a longer time frame such as a monthly, it's a little clearer, but that looks like there might be an inverse head and shoulders right here with one shoulder here, one head, and one additional shoulder here. And if that breaks out above 55, well, that's going to be an awesome rally that's going to be in store. So some of the energy ETFs here to take note of. This one is DBE. This is one that, you know, it's just showing some significant strength. It's above the 50 on the weekly RSI. It's pulled back some while tagging that 60 on the RSI to consolidate, but ultimately for us this is a long-term buy above 14 and would have significant upside once it breaks that level. XLE, well, this is a kind of a cup and handle pattern that we've been talking about for a little while now, and looks like we broke out of it, then we broke back into that channel, tested the downside support around 60. Now we broke above that again, but here's the most important part. You notice here we're at 66.45. The previous high here was 66.25, but momentum is much higher today than it was in this previous breakout attempt, and this is what was a false breakout. But it was successfully retested, and now it's breaking higher. The first logical price target is 70, but we think that this is going to go towards 75 and ultimately break higher at some point this year. MACDs look very, very strong here. Stochastics look great, and this is an area that you definitely want to be invested in. Oil and gas exploration ETF, XOP. Look at that. This has been a laggard a little bit in the oil and energy sector, but it's breaking out of this downtrend that we've seen since 2017. MACDs are now one-year highs, and RSI is higher today, positive divergence, that it was at points where the price was much higher. So that's a very positive and significant development. OIH, the oil services ETF. It's still fairly weak. I mean, you extend this line over here and you'll likely see, let's just do that here, you'll see that there's still some work to be done to break out of this downtrend, but the first downtrend here was broken out of, and now and successfully retested. MACDs are now above 0, and we think that this line is it's only a matter of time until this is broken out to the upside, and a run towards that 3750 area is very possible. But of these ETFs in the oil sector, this one's still on the weaker side. The small cap PSCE, this one, it can have a powerful move. It's been fairly weak, but again, it's showing very positive divergence. Again, here you see MACDs are above 0. One-year highs, you see it's above the middle Bollinger Band on the weekly, and while it's still below the 50 and the 200 EMA on the weekly, it's broken out of this downtrend and is showing positive divergence on RSI. So we think that once this breaks 15 it's going to make a strong move towards 2022 area. I mean, there are some points of resistance in between, but anyway, we're longer term investors, so that's what we see. RPC, RES. This one is very strong. It's been, even as oil has been in the doldrums, this has been going to new highs. It's got this beautiful basing, rounded base, then followed by another consolidation, the kind of a cup and handle here. It's breaking out here to new highs, and we don't know much about this company, but if you're a larger, you like stocks with higher prices, this is one that you may want to consider. It's got significant upside up ahead. Campania Siderúrgica Nacional. That's always a tongue twister. SID. I'm going to just review this video every time just so I can perfect the name of this company. But anyway, beautiful price action. I mean, it's been just making new highs every single week here. Now it's tagging the upper end of this Bollinger Band. It's about to break out above the 70 line on the weekly RSI, which is very bullish, and MACDs are very strong. I mean, this is one that's going to see significant upside should oil continue its rise as we anticipate it will. Hornbeck Offshore, HOS, another one that's got this very nice up move from the bottom of 151. It's more than doubled. We were calling long around this area, and MACDs are at 3-year highs, and we certainly think that this is going to tag $5 in the coming weeks ahead, but there's substantial upside here, $10, $15. So once oil breaks above levels of the 55 level, this may be one of the hottest names. Stone Energy, SGY, another one that we've been very bullish on simply based on the chart alone since middle of this year. Now we've expected it to break out, and it really hasn't so far. But what you see on this chart is that it's broken out of this downtrend, and that's significant. Now it's basing and it's moving up, and at some point it's going to have a substantial move higher. So now while we can't predict timing, we certainly think that down the road, if oil continues to break higher, this 6250 area is one that can be tagged. So this is clearly a leverage play on oil. And oil moves higher, this one will shoot higher as well. Eclipse Resources, ECR, just a basing pattern here at this point, but once this breaks to the upside, significant upside can be seen or will be seen. Our first price target is 4 on this one, but once this 4 level breaks, boy, there's just clear space here in terms of upside, so keep an eye on this one. All right, Atwood Oceanics, ATW. Another one that's kind of had a false breakdown. Now it's rallying above the middle Bollinger Band. MACDs are starting to show some significant strength at their highest levels of 2017. Our first price target is about $10, followed by around $12.50. So we like this name. CBAK Energy Technologies, CBAK. This one is breaking out of a significant downtrend since 2015, as you see here, after a very strong basing pattern. And once this breaks too, that's our call to go long this particular name. But it's got substantial upside. MACDs are at 3-year highs, which is a very significant development. So one you want to own. Devon Energy, DVN. It's been one of the large cap names that's been hammered over the last couple of years, but it's showing some signs of bottoming, and we see this double bottom here, this W type pattern with upside, or rather positive divergence on RSI. MACDs are above 0, and so we think that this has room to run. Wouldn't be surprised to see that 50 level hit at some point this year. EcoStim Energy Solutions, ESES, another one that's broken out of its downtrend here since 2015. Now it's basing right above that breakout point. For those of you who don't own this long, a break above 2 will confirm this uptrend has legs, and the next price target would be $4. Emerge Energy Solutions, EMES. This is a leverage play on oil and natural gas, and one that's, you can see how it's gone basically all over the place, extremely volatile, dropped from 40 all the way down to 197, all the way back to 25, all the way down to 5. We believe now it's starting to pick up, gain steam. A break above $10 makes us bullish for a move back towards 20. The MACDs are about to cross 0. I like the price action here, and for us to go long on a weekly time frame, it needs to break above that 10 level. Enerplus Corp, ERF, another one that's had this rounding base followed by a consolidation pattern here, kind of another one of those cup and handles, and it's showing some RSI breakout here, which means the price will follow. Our first price target is 12. We like this name. Look at the money flow, look at the accumulation, some significant upside ahead in this one. EV Energy Partners, EVEP. This is one of those penny stocks, so obviously do your due diligence on all of these names, but there's obviously more risk on these lower names. If oil doesn't play out the way we anticipate it may, some of these names might go bankrupt. So this is your money, so make sure you're cautious with it. But a break above this 60 level gives us reason to believe, 66 level, middle Bollinger Band, reason to believe that there's some substantial upside. Certainly a run towards about a buck 14 is in the cards. The MACDs are about to cross 0. We like this for a fairly fast move to the upside. Legacy LGCY. Well, we've been stopped out of this one for quite a while, so you know what? I just not gonna play this name, but nonetheless want to show you what I see here. RSI is starting to peak out above this 40 level. It's some significant divergence between where price is today versus where it was a couple weeks ago, and so we think that it's starting to move higher. Our first price target is around that $2 level, and that'll be significant if that breaks to the upside, because at that point a move towards 4 is likely in the cards. Next on the list, Noble Drilling Corp, NE. Well, you had this bullish wedge pattern that broke to the upside. Then you had this breakout from this wedge breakout, and then you had a retest from the upside, and it was successfully supported here, and now it's finally starting to show legs. MACDs are at basically 2017 highs, and we like this one. It's got some very nice upside. It's been killed over the last couple of years, so there's some really nice energy in this one, no pun intended. RSI is moving towards that 50 level. For us to go long, though, we want it to break the 5 level, and then it probably makes a move towards 750 in short order. So shorter term traders, our first price target is around 5. Longer term investors, 750, $10. These are reasonable price points to watch for. Noble Energy, NBL, is probably a related name to the previous stock here that we just profiled, Noble Drilling, probably a spin-off. So this is a bullish cup and handle here, and bullish flag, and it looks like it's breaking out to the upside. It's got really nice RSI momentum here and positive divergence, and MACDs are peaking above 0. So there is some significant upside in this name. Our first price target is 30, but would not be surprised again if that 45 level is hit at some point this year, or certainly within the next 12 months. So some very nice upside on this potential on this name. Oasis Petroleum, OAS, still in downtrend. Don't necessarily like this chart pattern as much as some of the others on this watch list, but wanted to point it out because it's showing some strength. It's got the MACDs above 0. RSI's got positive divergence. This is going to make a run towards 10 for, I don't want to say certain, but very probable. And but once this downtrend breaks to the upside, that's where you want to go long on a longer term trade, or rather investment. PetroQuest Energy, PQ. Well, you see it's broken out of this downtrend of 2017, and so if this were to break above this 250 level, that's a sign that this is probably headed towards $5. Next on the list is Precision Drilling, PDS. It's got some MACD movement towards 0. This is not long until it breaks out above $3 in the middle of Bollinger Band, around 314 on the weekly chart. But it looks like it's starting to get legs. It broke out of this downtrend here. It's struggling still. There's some resistance at $3. but RSI is no longer in extreme oversold territory. Often it breaks out, then flags and finds support here. If it does, expect to move higher. So if you're more of a risky trader, this is one you may want to consider. Seadrill, SDRL, another penny stock that we like here with just the technical price patterns here. MACDs are moving towards a move above zero. Some significant divergence here that's being shown, and so we think that there is some significant upside ahead over the next coming weeks in Seadrill. Next is we kind of reviewed this one, Stone TK Offshore Partners 2. One that kind of double bottom around $2, but it's showing some RSI momentum here. MACDs are above zero, so definitely one that can make a strong move towards that 5 level. Torchlight Energy Resources, TRCH. It's broke below this uptrend since 2015. You want to see this be recaptured, but based on certain indicators, MACDs and RSI, we think that this might break to the upside, and if it does, this might represent a false breakdown and a move towards 2, and a breakout eventually above 2 will likely be in the cards. Valero Energy, just one example of a large cap VLO. It's breaking out to basically all-time highs, and that's a very significant development. That's one of the reasons why you see a lot of these energy sector ETFs start doing really well. But next price target is 75, and beyond that, it's just a fundamental story tied to oil. So definitely a name that is good to have in your portfolio. Whiting Petroleum, WLL, breakout of this bearish wedge pattern, and now it's making a move towards this 5 area, where we believe if it breaks that area, then it's going to make a substantial move towards $10. MACDs are circling above zero. We like the upside here. And next and finally on this list is Zion Oil and Gas, ZN. It's got a beautiful pattern where it broke significantly higher out of a 3 to 4 year base pattern, made a massive run. Now it's bullishly flagged, consolidated, now broke out of this bullish flag pattern. Now it's consolidating again. We think that this is going to make a move towards the $7 zone in the not too distant future. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please follow us on StockTwits and at Twitter for updates on various different charts and things that we're looking at. Subscribe to our videos on YouTube, and have yourself a great day.